It's called Cbrn, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear. Nuclear being in case there was a nuclear war, that thing. The other one's chemical, biological, radiology. Chemical is, let me see, American Chemical Society has listings of 15,000 different chemicals in and it's their register. And if you go to a Merck index, you can see some of that stuff is. Just some of it. Not all of it, just some of it. And it may go as high as a lot higher than that. July 1st was a celebration today on the planet Earth because they would have destroyed, hopefully, most of the chemical weapons that was produced in World War I, World War II, and the Korean War. Except for that countries like Korea and China and Russia have ongoing weapons programs. In the United States, we're going to get blasted. But what are dangerous chemicals? What do you spray on your lawn? Do you have well, look at Syria. They fired a shell into a building that housed chlorine tanks. Boom! Yes. Chlorine is a laboratory, university. You can find chlorine tanks in there. Chlorine tanks for filtered water. Yes. Some of these can be small. Some can be big, especially if you're dealing with swimming pools. Well, you think about it. Your drinking water, what do you think keeps your bacteria out? Those great big 1-ton cylinders of chlorine. That's right. And you hit a building that contains that thing and chlorine gas. They didn't have to put it in shells. Chlorine, anybody own a swimming pool? See those little tablets you throw in there? Yeah. They say only one tablet at a time. They mean it. Some people decide to throw in a lot more. And then you get that smell of chlorine. That's chlorine gas, buddy. That's poisonous. What kind of other chemicals are out there that are not from World War I, II, and the Korean War? Well, there's something they call the castor bean. You know that little castor bean? Ricin. That from the castor bean plant. Now that oil, which is non-toxin, is used in things like cosmetic, a whole different things. The problem is, once you press out the oil, you got all this other stuff, which is toxin. Well, I guess we burn it. You can't burn it. You can't burn it. Well, countries that who grew this stuff, they made good money off of it. Now they have all this waste and they don't know what to do with it. They burn it. Yes, but the smoke becomes toxic. There's a lot of plants that are mushrooms. Yes. Fluoride. Yes. That red flower in the wintertime, that's toxin, buddy. A lot of household plants are toxin. Your cat, dog, or your children can get sick and die. A lot of sea life is built. Shellfish is supposed to be extremely toxic if improperly harvested or used. What is the other thing? A lot of fish are out there toxin. A lot of plants, a lot of animals. Those are biotoxins. And, well, anthrax is a toxin, plant life. And been used. Saddam Hussein used it very efficiently. He also used mustard gas against the Kurds, anthrax against the Kurds. spreading anthrax on a field where there are sheep. The sheep, they get anthrax, goes to their system, and infects the wool and the meat, and the family who eats this stuff dies horribly. But that's Saddam. Saddam also used yellow cake. Over the years, until he was basically deposed of, and he bought 600 tons of yellow cake. Now, what in the world he's going to continue to buy yellow cake? Originally, he bought 100 tons for a nuclear reactor, and Israel, with the cooperation of Saudi Arabia, bombed it. I think killed a couple workers there. But it continued to get yellow cake. Well, why? Well, one, yellow cake is radioactive. It's a poison. And he got it in the regular 55-gallon drums, and he got it in small stainless steel containers. And they could never figure out why from one to the other one. Well, after the war, well, maybe during his reign in office, he would move those things into empty barrels, dump the contents out, and give them away. Oh, they're on the market. They're on the market. People buy this stuff, especially in villages that he didn't like. And the people would fill them up with water and diarrhea, stomach cancer, liver cancer, kidney cancer. Yes, he used them to kill people. Now, when he left office abruptly, many of those stainless steel containers were emptied by unsuspecting villagers and used for drinking water, which, of course, killed the village. So it's used as yellow cake can be used that thing. It's been reported that he would paint a building with yellow cake. I'll go in there, take everybody out, and leave yellow cake. No, because nobody knew what it was. You paint it on the wall. People died of radiation poisoning, which is yellow cake is extremely poisonous. It's radioactive. It will you will breathe it in, and it will cause cancer and kill your body. So that's the one thing. Chemical, and then of course, as I said, biological. Nuclear is nuclear weapons. That produces radiation. Mushroom clouds. Or it can be even worse than that. It can be used as using spent radioactive fuel to throw out. Cesium-137 is available in Russia because it's used for small power plants. But the same thing, the stuff can be turned into a dust and spread on a thing. It is something about yellow cake. What was Saddam going to use it for? Use it as a weapon. Just think of Tel Aviv being dust cloud of yellow cake. Nobody's going to live in Tel Aviv. You do that to major cities, nobody's going to live in them. Do that to New York City, nobody's going to live in New York City because of yellow cake, the dust. So, yes, it's a big thing. Troops on the ground, what do they run into? Radiology, isotopes. You can literally, if you basically want to do is turn a building into a big isotope, hit it with a neutron gun. And every piece of metal in that building will become radioactive. Or you just have it, Yes, nobody's, unless you're walking there with a Geiger count, nobody's going to know the difference. Until your skin starts blistering. Yeah, well, that's Cbrn. That's hopefully our troops don't. But there is a Ukrainian war, isn't there? Chemical weapons are being used over there. As the Russians say, if we can't farm there, neither will you.